Hi there, this is going to be a quick video, I promise. Unfortunately, it's not good news because, like you might have guessed from the title of this video, visa fees to move to the UK are going to go up by more again. So without wasting any time, let's get right into it. I'm Ashika, and if you're new to this channel, we talk about moving to the UK and along with a lot of other countries for that dream job or to study. With that, let's dive in. So earlier this month, the visa application fees to move to the UK increased, the 4th of October to be precise. At that point, the UK government had mentioned that they would also increase the IHS fees, but they hadn't mentioned when and by how much it would increase. Well, the news about that is finally out. They've announced the date as well as by how much the fees are going to increase. For those of you who aren't aware, visa costs are majorly broken up into two components when you want to move to the UK. The first one is the visa application fees, and the second one is the IHS fees, or the immigration health surcharge. All combined, this is the amount of money you have to pay the UK government if you want to live in the UK and work there, not as a citizen but just as a resident. Now, when it comes to visa costs, there's also the amount that you have to show that you can prove that you can live in the UK, but we're not discussing that today, so back to the visa fees. So the IHS, or the Immigration Health Surcharge, is basically the amount that you pay to the government so that you can access healthcare services in the UK. And like you might have guessed from the name, this fee is only paid by immigrants in the UK. So when people say that the UK offers free healthcare, that usually comes with a caveat, and the caveat is this, that it offers free healthcare to its citizens, but not necessarily to the immigrants who move to the UK, because the immigrants have to pay the health surcharge or the IHS fee, right? Citizens, on the other hand, don't pay the health surcharge, but a component of their taxes go towards supporting the NHS. So they do pay some amount in the form of taxes to support the NHS in the UK. But for people like you and me who move to the UK and want to work there or study there, you will first have to pay this health surcharge, and then a part of your taxes will also go towards the NHS. And once you pay this fee, you will get free access to NHS healthcare services and facilities in the UK. So it's basically free visits to the doctors that work under the NHS, which cover everything from emergencies, minor injuries, family planning services, consultation services. It's all free and all covered under this. Which basically means that every time you visit a doctor in the UK, you don't have to pay the consultation fees. And while it does cover some dental procedures, most dental procedures in the UK are paid for and they're rather expensive. And apart from this, you'd also have to pay for your own prescriptions, which is your medicines after you visit the doctor. Now, back to the hike. From the 16th of January 2024, the IHS will rise from £624 per person per year to £1,035. And the fee for under 18s, students and folks under the Youth Mobility Scheme will rise from £470 per year to £776 per year. So to give you an idea, if you take the instance of somebody applying for a skilled worker visa for 3 years, they currently would pay £624 per person per year as their IHS. But from Jan 2024, they would have to pay £1,035 per year per person. So for a 3-year visa, that's a total of £3,105 per year, which was earlier £1,872. If you take a family of 4 who plan to move to the UK on a 5-year skilled worker visa, if they apply before Jan, they would need to pay a total of £10,940 for 5 years. But come Jan 2024, they will have to pay £18,110 for 5 years, which is an increase of £7,170, which is approximately 7 lakhs, which is a lot of money. Now, if you'd like to know more about why this is happening, how this is happening, you can read more information here, which is the House of Commons, and they have a lot more info here on this entire policy. Now, you already know things are really expensive in the UK, and add to this the rising visa costs. And the thing is that some companies offer to pay your relocation costs, so they pay for your flights and your tickets, and for you to move your furniture, your luggage, all of that over here. And apart from that, they also pay for your visa fees. Some companies don't, which means that you, the person who's applying, would then have to pay for the visa fees, which is a lot of money under the new policies. So if you do plan on moving to the UK, I will say this. Please work out your finances to make sure that you'll be making more than you actually spend in the UK, and that eventually you'll be saving more than you would save in whichever country you are in right now. Because otherwise, the move to the UK doesn't make sense. Now, what should you do? Well, the honest truth is that there isn't much you can do other than, if you are planning on moving to the UK, speak to your employer or speak to the company that is recruiting you and try and get your application in before the 16th of Jan 2024 so that you avoid paying this massive increase in fees. Apart from that, there's nothing much you can do, to be really honest. And here's the thing, if you would like to know how much you would end up spending or what your cost of living would be in the UK when you move here, I suggest you watch this. And if you want to know more about the visa fees that also increased earlier this year, like I said in October, watch this.